Pre-season is meant to be simple, right? Shake off the summer, build the legs, try a few ideas, and move on. The scorelines usually fade almost as soon as the final whistle goes. But every now and then, a friendly carries a bit more weight than it's supposed to. And Arsenal's 4-1 win away in Girona felt like one of those games that leaves you thinking, hang on, this team is shifting again. Now, let's keep our feet on the ground. Girona have been relegated from La Liga. It's early August, and nobody hands out trophies for looking sharp in a friendly. But what stood out was the intent. Arsenal played with freshness and a purpose that hinted Mikel Arteta's squad isn't just adding names. It's adding new ways to hurt teams. The headline, though, wasn't even one of the big money arrivals. It was Max Dowman. And honestly, we should probably retire the usual intro of, he's only 16, because Arsenal aren't treating him like a novelty, and the way he played didn't ask for protective wording either. Take the assist for Kai Havertz. The pass itself was beautiful, sure, but the real story was a full sequence. Dowman received the ball with a defender tight to him, and instead of forcing it or playing safe, he swivels away on a half-turn with an almost shocking mix of balance and strength. Then he releases Havertz with exactly the right weight, the kind that makes the move look inevitable. That combination of technique, awareness, and physical presence is rare at any age. And then he adds a goal, which somehow felt even more mature. No snatching at the chance, no wild rush of adrenaline, just a calm finish slid into the bottom corner, like he had all the time in the world. Young players will make errors, and his choices will sharpen as he gets minutes, but Arteta's reaction afterwards told you plenty. When asked about expectations getting too heavy, Arteta didn't try to dampen them down. He welcomed them. The message was clear. At this club, if you can handle it, you play. Dowman wasn't the only one making a statement. Christos Tzolis had his first public run-out in an Arsenal shirt, and it was a kind of debut that makes supporters immediately start imagining what it looks like in the league. He finished his goal with real conviction, cutting inside and drilling a low shot into the far corner. The sort of finish that feels like it could become a signature if he gets those chances regularly. But beyond the goal, what was really encouraging was his movement. When Girona sat compact and tried to clog the middle, Tzolis wasn't standing still asking for the ball to feet over and over. He was stretching the line, running beyond defenders, trying to create dilemmas. And that matters, because Arsenal will face plenty of Premier League teams who defend deep and dare them to break them down. A winger who wants space behind, not just a ball in front, can change the whole picture. Then there's a Havertz and Viktor Gyökeres conversation, because that's going to run all season. A lot of people assume Gyökeres arrived to take the striker role and push Havertz elsewhere or even out. But Arteta, it seems, has another plan. In Girona, it looked like Gyökeres was the one pinning the center backs, occupying the heart of the defense, while Havertz drifted off him, arriving late into pockets and attacking space with those well-timed runs that have become such a big part of his threat. And it worked. Havertz gets the opener and kept popping up in dangerous areas, while Gyökeres showed he doesn't need to score to shape the game. His presence changes how defenders behave, and that alone creates chances for others. Even the build-up had a slightly different feel. With Kepa or Arrizabalaga involved, Arsenal weren't married to short passes every single time. There were moments where Kepa looked longer, aiming towards Gyökeres' power and ability to compete, not as an identity shift, but as an extra lever to pull. And in a league where opponents spend all week preparing for your patterns, one additional option can be a headache for them and a solution for you. At the back, Piero Hincapié did what the best defenders often do in a first appearance. He made it all look quiet. He read situations early, covered intelligently when Christian Mascara pushed forward, and generally looked comfortable without needing to announce himself. Defenders only dominate the talk when something goes wrong, so a calm, low-fuss debut can be a very good sign indeed. Ethan Nwaneri also deserves attention, especially because his story recently hasn't been straightforward. That loan at Marseille never really became what people hoped, with changes around him and a campaign that didn't settle. But he didn't return looking drained or disillusioned. If anything, he looked more complete. Playing in central midfield, he found smart pockets, linked play cleanly, and showed a real appetite to win the ball back. No showboating, no forcing highlights, just a steadier, more rounded performance that suggests he took something valuable from a tough spell abroad. And maybe the most exciting part of the whole afternoon is remembering who wasn't even there. Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, Mikel Merino, Ebereki Eze, and Noni Madueke are all still missing after World Cup duties. That's not a small list. And yet Arsenal still look balanced, fluent, and tactically flexible. That tells you two things. The floor level is higher than before, and the competition in the squad is very real. That competition is what title-winning teams tend to have. Not just 11 stars, but genuine pressure and alternatives across positions. So the level doesn't collapse when you rotate or when injuries hit in December and January. To be clear, nobody sensible is crowning Arsenal champions because they beat a second-tier Spanish side in a friendly. That would be ridiculous. But football gives you little clues, little snapshots of what might be coming. And this match offered a glimpse of an Arsenal with more depth, more variety in attack, and a really intriguing blend of proven quality and fearless youth. Dowman looks closer and closer to being ready. Tzolis made an immediate mark. Gyökeres adds a different dimension that forces opponents to rethink their plans. And Arteta, suddenly, has the kind of selection problems managers love. The ones where every choice feels like leaving something good out. If this was the opening act of the season, there's plenty for Arsenal supporters to be excited about next.